Welcome to Grip Grind Glory, where grapplers train with purpose and grow through the grind. And now, your host thought-provoker and fellow grinder, Anna Janovics.
Hello my friends, this is episode 3 of Grip Grind Glory, and today we're talking about something that shows up at every single level of growth, that is, discomfort. What it actually is, why it shows up, and why it might be the one thing standing between you and your goals. Let's go. So the reason why I wanted to talk about discomfort today, the emotional kind, is because I am in it right now. It's 4 p.m. I'm recording this episode, which I very much enjoy, but I've still got a workout waiting for me. And I really don't feel like going, not even a little. This happens a lot, especially now that I'm prepping for a competition. I'm doing 5 training sessions a week while building the brand, being a mom, a wife, running the club and the house. Anyway, it's a lot. A lot of those other roles feel way more pleasurable than hitting the gym right now. So what I do is that I schedule it in. I expect the resistance from my brain, and that expectation alone makes a huge difference. That's what makes the difference, actually. It was the same when I started Judo. I expected it to feel uncomfortable. I knew I'd be out of my depth. I knew I'd get thrown around. I knew my brain would want to bail. But because I expected the discomfort, because I know my brain so well, I was able to manage it. I didn't let my body go into panic mode. I didn't quit. I just kept showing up. And, a lot of the people who started around the same time as me didn't. So what happens in our brains is that when something feels uncomfortable, it's your amygdala lighting up. That's the brain's fear center. It sends out a full body stress signal that sounds like, I'm not sure I like this, maybe I'll skip it, maybe this isn't for me. That's totally normal and totally human. But when you expect that discomfort and choose to face it anyway, your prefrontal cortex takes over, which is your rational brain. What that part of your brain does is to help you pause, talk to yourself and say, yeah, this feels awful, I know, but I'm still going. Now, the cool part is that each time you do that, your brain learns a new reward pattern. And instead of rewarding comfort and safety, it starts to reward effort. It learns that pushing through discomfort leads to pride and growth and a little dopamine hit, obviously. And dopamine is not just the feel-good chemical, it is what reinforces behavior as well. It tells your brain that it was hard, but it was worth it, so let's just do it again. And this is why your wins need to be clear and intentional in the first place. Because if you define success on your own terms, even a small win, your brain learns to chase it. And that's what we build into the online challenges. A defined target defined by you, so you can feel that little hit of progress. And each time you show up despite discomfort, you're building evidence for a new identity. You stop identifying as someone who quits when it's hard. You become someone who keeps showing up. And I believe that's what changed me big time. But it wasn't just discomfort in Judo. It was also learning how to balance it with my values, especially as a mom. And being a mom changed me like I just can't even put it into words. This is one of the ways. Because, for example, it's just an example, but when I first started Judo, my little one, Bruno, was just 6 months old. And so I told myself that as long as he's happy babbling at Matt's side, I'm good. But if he's not, I'm out. And there were days when he wasn't, so I didn't go or I left early, and I was absolutely fine with that. It didn't seem failure, it was just alignment. But later, when he got a bit older, over like 1 year, he just wouldn't stay still, wouldn't sit next to the mat, and that freaked me out big time. So I took a break. There was no guilt because I had set the boundary with myself ahead of time, and that's the key. Not pushing through everything blindly, but pushing through what matters. And know your values first, then decide what discomfort is worth facing. And the good news is that discomfort fades with exposure. So the more often you face it on purpose, consciously, the less power it has over you. Your nervous system stops reacting so dramatically, and your tolerance builds. And in my case, it's being thrown. I've got some next level defensive instincts, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very hard to throw, but that's because I believe it's because I still find it uncomfortable, and I would do anything in my power not to be thrown. But over time, obviously, this fear has shrunk. So it doesn't bother me as much now either. It's just part of the grind. And maybe that's one of the benefits of being discomfort. It forces you to adapt. You learn new ways. Another thing is that the more discomfort you overcome, the more trust you build in yourself. And this is a biggie for me, because after hitting the mat wrong so many times, I've learned that it might hurt, but it won't kill me, and I'll be just fine. And that's how I face all situations, that, whatever comes out of it is just an emotion, unless it's life-threatening, and I'll just be fine. So now I step on the mat with confidence, not in my judo skills necessarily, but in my mindset. People just casually tell me I seem very confident in life, but I don't think it's confidence, what they say in the traditional sense. I think confidence is knowing you've got the answers, and I don't. But I trust I'll figure them out. And that trust in yourself, or in my case, in myself, it's everything to me. So nowadays, when discomfort creeps in, I just watch my brain. I listen to what it tries to protect me from, and I catch the excuses. I remind myself this is just a signal, not a stop sign. And on bad days, discomfort shows up in small ways, in many different ways, but these small things, they just make me go crazy. Like, for example, lifting heavy or taking the kids somewhere outside our normal routine. I know it sounds silly, but those little moments, they're part of the same system. And oh boy, am I good at finding excuses. I could give you 35 different reasons not to go to the gym today, but I know this pattern. I know how I'll feel if I give in. Not shame necessarily, just that dull sense of regret that says that you could have handled it, but you didn't. And I just don't want to feel that. I'm not going to go there, so I just go. And not because I love discomfort, don't get me wrong, but because I know it's where my life moves forward. And also because I have a goal I'm going for, and that requires me to go to the gym, simple as that, to show up for myself. So yeah, discomfort is the friend you didn't know you needed. It's there basically to protect you, but if handled well, to grow you as well, to give you proof. And the more you face it, the more capable you become, and the more you start becoming someone you trust. So I hope today's episode helped you reframe discomfort, not as the thing to avoid, but the thing to expect and to use. and to build on. If you'd like to see what success could mean to you and how to set a goal for yourself and just go for it without hesitation, check out our challenges at www.gripgrindglory.com. I hope to see you in one of them. I am now obviously off to the gym, but I'll see you next week. And until then, let's grip, grind, and glory.